What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool news video, and we have breaking news. This morning Fabrizio Romano revealed that Liverpool and Feyenoord have prepared all the documents for Arne Slot to be officially signed as the next Liverpool manager. Liverpool will pay 9 million euros plus an additional 2 million euros for Arne Slot's signature to Feyenoord, with the backroom staff also in excess of 13 million in total. So the payment terms will be 1 year, so in the next year we will pay this amount to Feyenoord and we don't have to pay it upfront straight away, so it will be divided throughout the year. Sipke Hulshoff and Ruben Peters will be part of Arne Slot's backroom staff at Liverpool, so he is bringing over two of assistant managers at Liverpool. And Arne Slot will have a very specific role at Liverpool because the Times newspaper is reporting that Arne Slot will be appointed as Liverpool's new head coach rather than manager, as Liverpool prepares for a shift away from the traditional British football club structure. So they won't give Arne Slot as many roles as Jurgen Klopp had. Jurgen Klopp had not just the role of the head coach at Liverpool. He had a very vast expertise among many football departments at Liverpool, and maybe Liverpool think that drained Jurgen Klopp's energy as well. Of course, if you have to deal with transfers and all kinds of other analysis on top of being the manager of Liverpool, being the coach of Liverpool, meaning that you have to coach the players, you have to manage each and every player to keep them happy, to keep them motivated. You also have to set up tactics for every game. You have to hold press conferences, interviews. That's alone are a very grueling schedule for a coach. So the plan is, from Liverpool's point of view, for Arne Slot to focus on coaching and preparing Liverpool's first team, while reporting to sporting director Richard Hughes, who will oversee the player recruitment and other aspects of the football department. And above them both will sit Michael Edwards, who will see the overall football structure, and all the football departments will be overseen by Michael Edwards. So Arne Slot will focus on coaching and preparing the first team, and I think that's what he's great at. Arne Slot shouldn't be tasked with the responsibility of picking out the next transfer targets for Liverpool. That's for the sporting director and Michael Edwards, and for the whole scouting department at Liverpool. Arne Slot, if he just focuses on the team tactics, press conferences, managing the players, getting the best out of players, growing youth players and bringing them through from the youth academy, that maybe will save more of Arne Slot's energy, and he won't get drained as much as Jurgen Klopp did in his 9 years. So Arne Slot is expected to be happy with the status, having spent his coaching career working in the same head coach, sporting director model that Liverpool are poised to adopt. That's one of the reasons why we went with Arne Slot and not with somebody like Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim wanted a lot more say in what kind of transfers Liverpool are going to sign. But Liverpool spoke to a lot of candidates, and all of them are a head coach rather than a manager. In England, there is a unique responsibility of a manager having to oversee transfers as well as dealing with a lot of other stuff, talking with player agents and everything. At Liverpool, I think we are trying to lift the burden on the Liverpool manager. I will still call him Liverpool manager, not Liverpool coach, because it's just a habit, so forgive me for that, guys. But the Liverpool manager will have a lot less responsibility, and maybe hopefully he can get more out of himself this way. And one of the reasons why this happened is that Michael Edwards, FSG wanted him back so badly after losing Jurgen Klopp. They wanted to have somebody back who is absolutely the best, or one of the best, at football transfers, football strategy, running various football departments. And probably Michael Edwards wanted a lot of responsibility for himself. Not all of the top managers would be happy with this setup, of course. And it will be very interesting whether this model can be successful at a top club in England, because at various other clubs, at Bayern Munich, at Barcelona, at Real Madrid, it's a similar setup. So I think Liverpool are trying to do a more European style of football structure. And Arne Slot has the best English of any Dutch manager who has ever tried coming to England, and he has an incredible way of using his words. That's what a close observer of Dutch football said to Times New York journalist interviewing him. And Jonathan Northcroft, the English journalist, is reporting that another aspect that may have caught the eye of Michael Edwards and Liverpool is that Feyenoord has an outstanding record of player availability. Arne Slot's connection with supporters and communication skills were also noted, but most importantly, the guy responsible for the fitness of the Feyenoord players, he's coming over to Liverpool as well, and Feyenoord have not that many players who missed many games with injuries. They have very few, and that's very, very important because Liverpool have been recently absolutely destroyed by injuries. I'm convinced that having 8 or 9 injuries for like 75% of the season really drained the rest of the Liverpool players, and it resulted us just fizzling out and getting exhausted at the business end, at the most crucial part of the season, the title run-in. Liverpool look out of energy. And Paul Robinson, former England and Tottenham goalkeeper, has said this about Arne Slot: Liverpool have come knocking this time with the history and the size of the club and the opportunity to pick up a club that are in decent shape with a really good young squad with many young talented players and some world-class players as well. They aren't exactly where they would want to be at the moment. They have obviously fallen out of a couple of competitions. It looks like they have dropped away in the league, and the title race is now over for Liverpool. But as a manager, you very rarely pick up a club that are in perfect shape. This is Jurgen Klopp leaving at the right time for him. It's not him getting sacked or his club on a 10-game losing streak. As a manager, it's a very rare opportunity to pick up a club that are doing well. So I think Arne Slot coming in at Liverpool is the right time, because it looks like the ideas and the methods of Jurgen Klopp are not really working anymore, or the players just checked out. Some of the players just checked out of the season, which is really totally unacceptable for me. And Jurgen Klopp feels responsible for this. He says that I do feel a burden. He said this after the Everton game, but I think it's still actual that even after the West Ham game. It's difficult to explain, but I hated our game against Everton. We were not even close to what kind of team we want to be. Somehow it happened, and we didn't see the positivity in the situation anymore. We had a good starting point, so let's go and chase the others. But you can only chase in a positive way. And Liverpool were too nervous, and they were crushed under the pressure of the situation of the title race. They were crushed under the expectation to do well for Jurgen Klopp. You saw the game. It wasn't the first poor one, but it was the worst one. Crystal Palace wasn't even close to this. Against Crystal Palace, I think we actually played pretty well, created loads of chances, which has missed everything. Like, compare that to the West Ham game where we scored from a triple deflection after Cody Gakpo's shot, and also Andy Robertson scored a rare goal. Against Crystal Palace, against Atalanta, it just didn't happen. And Jurgen Klopp said, I see two teams, Arsenal and Man City, who play really positive football and really go for it. We can do that, but we don't do it in this moment, in the crucial part of the title race. Who can I make responsible for that? It's my job, Jurgen Klopp said, until the last day to make sure the boys feel that they have a great opportunity, or they had a great opportunity to really go for it, to really go for the title. The game was just horrible to watch. In Germany, when the crowd is not happy with the team and think they are not fighting enough, they sing, "We want to see you fight." I was close to singing that. Never has one of my teams heard that, ever. Never. I never heard them say my team didn't fight, because my team always went for it. And now, wow, how can that happen? How can my team not fight against Everton of all teams in the Merseyside derby? Jurgen Klopp is even asking himself that question. How did this happen? happen. We made mistakes before in other seasons, but you have to fight against that. But much more important is that you create a basis for most of the season until the finishing line is in sight, and then you really go for it and you give everything. And that should be the most positive thing. And we did that in the past, winning all the games in the run-in. And now we can't do it for a variety of reasons. Now we have to find a lineup, a way to do much better at West Ham. And Liverpool did better against West Ham, but still the defensive frailties were there. We conceded 2 goals from 3 headers, players unmarked in the box. We can't defend crosses, we can't defend set pieces, we can't defend corners and free kicks. And that has been the problem for the majority of the season. But we are pairing that with being awful in the other box, in the opposition's box, where we need to finish our chances. And again, we hit the post and we hit the bar. Luis Diaz hit the post, Harvey Elliott hit the bar. They were both unlucky finishes, but still we should have done better in many of our situations. And what's the most infuriating factor is that Liverpool play well in large periods against West Ham. They never ever play brilliantly, but that can't be the minimum expectation. Liverpool played well enough and created enough chances to win the game against West Ham. We didn't kill the game when we were on top. We were 2-1 up again, and we had the chance to make it 3-1. And Gravenberch, Gakpo, Luis Diaz, whoever had the chances, just didn't score the 3rd goal. And then, as always, Liverpool concede from West Ham's first chance after Liverpool dominated pretty much the whole of the second half. The bottom line is Liverpool conceded first in 23 games this season out of 55, and you can't keep doing that. You can't keep conceding first and then chasing the game, because that requires a lot more energy than scoring first, being in control and winning the game that way. If you concede first in like 45% of the games, then you are always chasing it. Liverpool have done exceptionally well until the end of March. With this many injuries, with having 7 or 8 injuries for the majority of the season, to be still in the title race, in the FA Cup quarterfinals, in the Europa League quarterfinals, and winning the League Cup having so many injuries was great. But just when a lot of our big players came back, Jota, Curtis Jones, Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and unluckily Jota got injured again after just playing a few games, scoring a couple of goals. That was really unfortunate. But having the other 3 players back, I thought that would give Liverpool the added quality to shine in the run-in. And yet we just fizzled out. We collapsed in this crucial part of the season. We have won 1 game in 7. That's not even title-winning form, not even top 4 form. That's actually relegation battle form, which is unbelievable to say when Liverpool were on course to finish on 90 to 95 points. And now we will be lucky to finish on 80 points with the way that we are going. And if you just look at the teams of Crystal Palace, Everton and West Ham, they are like decent mid-table sides. West Ham are maybe a little bit a level above that. But these 3 teams, Liverpool on their day, they beat all 3 of them. And we had the chances to do so, especially against Crystal Palace and West Ham. We created more than enough chances to win those games. But with these games, to get 1 point against Crystal Palace, Everton and West Ham, to get 1 point from 9, completely killed Liverpool's title hopes. Imagine if we won all 3 of them. We would be bang on in the title race, actually being first. We would have been first if we beat just these 3 teams. And that's more painful than, dropping points against Man City or Arsenal. That was due to the referees as well. But it's just absolutely horrendous that Liverpool couldn't get more out of these 9 games, because Liverpool actually played well in the 2 of these 3 games. The Everton loss, that's deserved, because Liverpool were absolutely awful. But against Crystal Palace and West Ham, we had more than enough chances to win those games. And even 6 points out of 9 keeps Liverpool in the title race. But we got 1 out of 9, and that was it. it's over. The title is done. I don't even know who I want because I hate Manchester City, but the Arsenal fans are unbearable on social media. If they win their first title in 20 years, we will never hear the end of it, you know. But it would be a better story for the Premier League, definitely, if Arsenal won it, because yeah, Man City are just cheating their way to winning a title. My heart says I want Arsenal to win it, even though they are a rival of Liverpool. Man City are just absolutely despise them, and it would be better for football if Arsenal won it. One of Liverpool's best season was the 2021-22 season, where we almost won the quadruple. We won the FA Cup, we won the League Cup, and we went to the Champions League final, and we got to 92 points in the Premier League. And Liverpool got 12 points from losing positions. We went behind 12 games in that season, compared to this season where we went behind in 23 games. In the end, the difference between them and Man City was too many draws, and also Liverpool drew 5 times when they took the lead. Man City won 29 of the 30 games in which they led, which is absolutely crazy, honestly. And also, of course, the referees. You can't argue against that. Rodri clear handball against Everton, not given by the referee and VAR. And against Wolves, when the ball hit the armpit of a Wolves player, Man City get a penalty. Those 2 decisions alone swinged 4 points in the way of Man City. You know, Liverpool lost the league by 1 point. The bottom line is, Liverpool were much more solid defensively in that season. And I think the past 2 seasons, the main problem has been the defense. And also, yes, of course, finishing chances this season. But still, Liverpool are the top scorers in Europe. We scored well over 100 goals in all competitions. We scored the most goals in the Europa League. And we are one of the top scorers in the Premier League as well. And in the League Cup, we went all the way to win it. So we scored a lot of goals in that competition. We scored a lot of goals against in the FA Cup. Even in the game where we went out of the FA Cup, we scored 3 goals. We just conceded 4 against Man United. I still can't believe that happened. And Liverpool, it's so strange to say this. Liverpool are the top scorer team in Europe, and yet we are not great at finishing our chances. How can that be? We have so much firepower, so many brilliant attackers. They just hit a cold patch at the same time. And our defense got worse, definitely. Our defense got worse. Since the end of March, we are too vulnerable from crosses, set pieces, corners, free kicks, and also giving the ball away in our own half, and the opposition teams punishing us. Liverpool still had, I think, a good season, just not a great season. It would have been a legendary season if we held our nerve. If we kept scoring our chances, then we could have won the league. That's the most frustrating thing. We were top of the Premier League when we lost to Crystal Palace, and since then it has all gone down here. So that's my assessment. Let me know what is yours in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.